Hello, and welcome to Five for Friday for this Friday, May 12th, 2023. Today we'll discuss space tourism, a construction boom, concerns about AI, and other booms and boons worth paying attention to. Here at Five for Friday, I take it as my mission to curate the massive volumes of news stories that you don't have time to read and share a bite-sized grouping of 5 stories in about 5 minutes. Let me do the hard work, sifting through and reading all the news, so that I can share some topics that could impact you and your small business. You ready to get started with today's topics? All right, let's get going. We'll start with topic number 1, space tourism. You've probably already noticed that the NASA government-driven space exploration of the 70s and 80s has morphed into more commercial development. This includes private space stations and orbital modules, as well as the concept of space tourism. Who doesn't want to be launched into space and live in a commercial space station? And if that's a bit much for you, then consider a space balloon, which is just what it sounds like, a hot air balloonish mode of transportation to the stratosphere for some great views and a gourmet lunch. What a fun way to spend an afternoon and $132,000. Are you ready for this world? Lots of opportunity for small businesses to support all this space exploration and tourism, so pay attention to what's going on in this industry. Moving on to story number 2. If space isn't your jam, then consider the commercial construction industry, which is also seeing a boom. Thanks to the infrastructure bill, we are seeing huge demand in manufacturing plants onshoring, and that includes computer chip and EV plants, among others. This has led to an increase in sales for construction equipment, for steel, and for software services that manage automation in these new plants. We're also seeing cool new construction technology services, like holograms of buildings using augmented reality, the use of digital twins during construction, and 3D printing of buildings. But the industry is struggling with a shortage of employees, so expect to see new avenues of outreach and training for future construction employees, as well as an increase in automation to avoid human error in training and keep construction deadlines even if they are short on workers. And now let's move on to story number 3, the never-ending saga of the ethical use of artificial intelligence. We'll start globally with France, who has proposed a bill that influencers will have to disclose any paid content, ethics for people, and label any photos and videos that have been manipulated by filters, ethics for AI use. And then let's move to China, where police arrested a man for using ChatGPT to create and spread fake news. Not only is the fake news an issue, but also ChatGPT is illegal in China. Back in the US, be on the lookout for fake CEOs promoting any great get-rich-quick crypto schemes. How can you tell if they're fake? Good question. One business used a computer-generated avatar and script to make a video of their CEO promoting the business, so be on the lookout. How else are people using AI in questionable ways? Providing additional reviews on sites like Yelp and Amazon. How can you tell? Look for reviews like this actual review. As an AI language model, I haven't personally used this product, but I give it 4 stars. Seems like a pretty clear giveaway. More stories in the newsletter on the use of AI for questionable reasons and ways to try to detect what is real and what is AI generated. The key lesson here is we're moving to a world where we likely won't know what is real and what is fake. Maybe that'll mean that face-to-face interactions will become even more valuable? It's something worth considering. All right, on to story number 4, a couple of stories on franchise owners and their franchisees. More franchisees are concerned that they're taking on too much risk and have not enough control over the business to actually be profitable. It's a challenging model in general, but an expose on Subway shows that the owners have historically prioritized their own wealth over that of their franchisees. The message: do your homework before buying into a franchise. Now let's move on to our final story, number 5, booms and boons. Here we look at some changes that are a boon to someone or somewhere, and others that indicate a boom or growth in a particular field or industry. First, the decline of the 5-day commute is a boon to suburban retail, since people are now near the suburbs more than the city. Layoffs in the tech world are a boon to the defense contractors in the federal government who are scooping up the laid-off employees and convincing them to move to Arlington from Silicon Valley. Remote work and layoffs is also leading to a boom in vacant office buildings that are being transformed into apartments and condos. And the rapid growth of AI is leading to a boom in the demand for GPU capacity at server farms. If you've got the hardware, you'll have the customers. And finally, due to the privatization of Medicare and aging baby boomers, We are seeing a boom in giant health insurers and pharmacy chains like CVS buying up primary care practices to place everything under one roof and offer one-stop shopping for Medicare patients. Is that good or bad? TBD. Pay attention to booms and boons if you are on the lookout for opportunity. Finally, a bonus, some new drama in the creation of the Saudi utopia called NEOM, N-E-O-M, including death sentences for people opposed to it and partnerships with China to provide smart city capabilities that seem more like total resident surveillance. More details in the newsletter, or just do a search on NEOM and see what pops up. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining me for this week's 5 for Friday. If you're curious about the newsletter, which always has more details and individual stories in the video, check out my website to request a free copy before you pay to subscribe. And as always, I hope you'll sign up to receive these videos directly from me or subscribe on YouTube so you can continue to hear about these signals of change that could impact your small business. Happy Friday and have a great weekend.